Hello and welcome to a trip around Romania. This video was suggested by our patrons. They voted to cover one place worth visiting in each region of the country. And with this occasion, I want to thank all of them. I thought for a bit if I was the right person to talk about everything extensively, and I might do a series on all possible destinations at some point. But this is based on personal experience. There are 41 counties plus Bucharest. I have visited something worthwhile in every region of the country and almost in every county. I have not set foot yet in the counties of Botoșani, Satu Mare, Giurgiu and Teleorman, and I have only seen briefly Olt, Dolj and Sălaj. I have visited at least one big city, one major attraction, or slept at least one night in any of the other counties. I will give some mentions for each region, including something to do in nature, something cultural, and something more accessible, because we all know how big Romania is and how average the public transportation is. However, I will talk a bit more in depth only about one place in each region, the one that stays closer to my heart. So, there are 9 historical regions, as well as one special mention that I will get into a bit. There is Moldova, with the counties Vaslui, Neamț, Bacău, Botoșani, Iași, Vrancea, and Galați. Sorry, Galați people. Then Bukovina, which covers mainly the county of Suceava. Then Dobrogea, with Constanța and Tulcea. Then Oltenia with Gorj, Dolj, Olt, Mehedinți and Vâlcea. Then Banat with Timiș and Caraș-Severin. Crișana with Arad and Bihor. Maramureș with Maramureș and Satu Mare. Although Satu Mare is not really in the historical region of Maramureș, but anyways. Then Ardeal, or what many people consider Transylvania, with Cluj, Sălaj, Bistrița Năsăud, Brașov, Sibiu, Alba, Hunedoara, and half of Mureș. This is where the special mention comes. I will cover the Seceiland, or Ținutul Secuiesc, separately as a subdivision of Transylvania. This one covers half of Mureș County, Covasna, and Harghita. We will cover now the special mentions and the main attractions. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. And join Patreon if you want to vote for our cultural videos. You can also practice Romanian and join live streams and classes. Also, you have the option of joining the Romanian Academy Discord community. Now, we'll go into the map and cover every region. Alright, so this is the map. You can see that there are quite a few places that I have been to, and some areas are more visited than others. Now I'm going to start with my home region and Moldova. Here, once again, the counties are Botoșani, Iași, Neamț, Bacău, Vaslui, Vrancea, and Galați. And once again, with the special apologies for Galați people who are just at the border. And yeah, it's a big debate there if they are considering themselves Moldovans or not. Well, in terms of counties, Galați is in Moldova, so I'm going to include it here. Now, in terms of special mentions, historically, there are 2 places that you really should visit, and that's Iași and Mărășești. I'm going to start with the Mausoleum of Mărășești, which is a great historical and important place for the fallen heroes of the world wars. Then Iași here. It's the so-called capital of Moldova, and the most important city in the region. It has a lot of culture. This is where the unification of the Principate started, and it's quite a international city, a lot of industry there. It's definitely worth visiting, and now they have a new airport to visit as well. It's very accessible to get in there and then to move around Moldova. And finally, I have to say that Galați and the Dunăre passing, the Danube passing, is quite an experience to go with a ferry and cross the Danube. It's quite huge around there, and you also get a nice view of the city. Gets this observatory, and it's quite nice, I would say, overall. You can also cross the Danube here with the ferry. This is something that many people used to do, including myself, before this new bridge in Brăila has been released. And you can go then from Moldova to Dobroja. But as the most important place that I have to recommend is actually the Neamț County. And yes, okay, I am from there. I am biased. As I said, this is a personal review. But there are so many things to do here. So, except for the historical things you can do in Piatra Neamț and all the Ștefan cel Mare sites like the tower and all that, going around the lakes and hiking on the hills. Well, apart from all that, which is really quite cool, and even though it's a small town, you have stuff to do as long as you like nature. Yes, it is a big bias here. Probably Neamț County is all about nature. Also, you have the Vânători National Park, which has a couple of old historical monasteries, and also it has the bison reservation. You'll see nice zimbri, not bisons. In Romanian, they are called zimbri. They are the European bison. They're, I think, a bit smaller than their American counterparts, as everything is. Then you have the Lake Bicaz, which is quite an experience itself. It's huge. You can go do anything there, from party to go by boat, swim, and I don't know, go by ferry if you want around it. Then you have the National Park Chahlo, which is basically where I hike every time I come around here. You can do a lot of mountaineering sports like climbing and via ferrata, hike if you want, meet a bear. That's all possible around here. And other than that, I mean, obviously you have the mountain parts, which is really, really cool. But you can also go to Târgu Neamț to visit the Neamț Citadel, which is quite cool. It's from 14th century. Also get some historical places here with Humulești and the birthplace of Ion Creangă, one of the biggest writers in Romanian history. Roman is also quite interesting to see as well. Unfortunately, not that much to do there, but yeah, most of the stuff in Neamț is around the mountains. Then we move a bit more north to Bukovina. You'll see some interesting choices on my behalf, apart from the classics, which are really the historical places like the monasteries, Sucevița, Moldovița, what else? The Voronezh monastery with a classic blue, special blue from Voronezh. Apart from that, and also the historical place of Suceava with the citadel from there. Again, for 14th century, quite an important place in the history of the area. You can also get access to Suceava through their airport. Here it is. They get more and more flights every year. It's quite accessible to go to Bukovina nowadays. That's history, but then you also get a lot of cool things in nature to do. For example, if you go along Transraro, you can also get, Transraro is this really cool scenic road that goes through the mountains. Yeah, and then next to it you get some really cool hikes, such as Pietrele Doamnei, which is really impressive if you go in there. You can hike this and you can get through them and around them It's quite an impressive scenery, especially in winter when everything freezes around here. It's quite mad. Okay, so that's the mainstream things. Then you can go, if you want some budget skiing, to places like Vatra Dornei. And it's quite a historical place, like a resort. You get some nice spas, I think, as well. But also you get a ski slope, some classic horse carts. You know, you get a bit of everything around there. But if you want some cheap skiing, you can go there, or to Gura Humorului. Also very similar in terms of history, architecture, and skiing. And then my actual favorite place in Bucovina was the Vama Egg Museum. I know it's a bit strange, and I honestly don't care, but this, what you see in this egg museum is just amazing. It's unbelievable. The amount of stuff they have there, and the amount of like how symbols and decorations and history and everything else can be shown through eggs, traditional symbols as well. Eggs from, I think they even have a dinosaur egg or something there. It's quite crazy. And if you get into Bukovina, and if you get to pass by, really recommend you to spend a bit of time. I mean, at some point you get bored of eggs, but there's so much more than just eggs in there. It's quite cool. Vama. It's called Vama Egg Museum. Before you go, please note that apart from all the links that I have already mentioned, such as Patreon and Discord, there's also the option to get advice or coaching from me on your Romanian learning. That if you go to Calendly. The link is also in the description. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about this video, if you have other places you want to visit, or if you agree with my judgment for the main attraction in each region. Once again, this is a list of places that I have been to and what I like the most. I will see you next week with a new grammar video, and until the next one, la revedere!